Hello, everybody. Welcome on back to baseball here on youtube.com/SeanOsaurusRex. I'm Sean. 5 nights a week, we're streaming MLB 11, the show, here on the channel. We're actually going to be streaming every day except for Thursdays until the season is over, just so you're aware. So expect more streaming happening here from dear old me. So welcome on in. All right, let's get everything set up here. We're still working out the kinks on the back end. We're getting better already. That's what's important. We have 4 games of MLB 11 action for you today. We have a win and clinch scenario. The Nationals taking on the Diamondbacks. Now, the Diamondbacks, not a particularly good team at clinching when they have an opportunity to. So we'll see if they can take care of that. Behind that, we have the Rockies and the Pirates. The Rockies need some help to get into the playoffs. Let's take a look at the NL wildcard picture. Standings and the National League wildcard. Marlins, they're a game back. Rockies are 2 games back. They need some help to stay alive in the race for the National League West. So the Rockies are there. They're 3 games back. With the Padres, they're 2 games back. If the Mets win, it starts to get things real tight. Astros are out of it, so that's your cutoff line. Padres, Rockies, Marlins, Mets are who you're looking for. If the Mets win, the Rockies and the Padres lose, they'll be eliminated. And so we'll see how that goes. We'll actually watch the Marlins game as well. They're a game back, so they need some help. They're taking on the Cardinals and then the Padres and the Dodgers. So we'll watch 3 of these 4 teams. We'll see if the Diamondbacks can clinch the NL West. Let's jump in today. I don't know why it didn't sim through the rest of the day, because we did all these games. Yeah, Mariners we're always the last one. And we'll start with the Nationals and the Diamondbacks. Well, welcome on into baseball here on the show, or in the show, on YouTube, on Twitch. Happening. We're getting ever closer to March 13th and the new MLB The Show game. I'm excited about it. Other people have already pre-ordered it in the chat, which is showing some excitement as well. That's awesome. Oh, Livian? Hernandez taking on Randy Wolf. Last night's MLB stream went for a while. Welcome to Arizona. I'm a little surprised this is the first game that's available to pick from. Diamondbacks are 45-34. Nationals are 38-41. As we're winding down, we only have 2 days left of the season. Playoffs start on Wednesday here on the channel. Jose Reyes is the shortstop. He is leading off for the Nationals, followed by Chris Coughlin in center field. Ryan Howard's at first base. Russell Brandon the DH spot. Angel Pagan is in right field. Delman Young in left. Chase Headley at third. Carlos Guillen at second. Ramon Hernandez is behind the dish. Hope everybody had a good Sunday. Hanging out. This is the second long stream of the day. March Mascot Madness went well. We'll be back with that on Friday. Livian Hernandez is 8-5 with a 4.99 ERA, 15 games, 39.2 innings pitched, 58 hits, 12 walks, 22 strikeouts on the year for him. The Diamondbacks can punch their ticket to the playoffs today. It's that simple. If they win, they are in the playoffs. They will clinch the NL West, which the Rockies had such a hold on for so long. If the Diamondbacks lose, it starts to create a little bit of chaos. So, depending on what you're looking for, would be what you are rooting for. That is ball 1, and we are underway here in Arizona. I feel like it's the furthest west we've been in a while. Oops, I hit the wrong tab. The wind of the pitch from the righty is upstairs for a ball. And the righty is set. Here's the 2-0. That's low for a ball. 3-0. Okay, not a good start for the Diamondbacks. Maybe that benefits us in our chaos. It does need a lot of like, well, no, because if they lose and the other two teams lose, I guess they'd still be able to clinch. They control their own destiny, which has always been kind of a funky phrase. Strike one makes it a 3-1 count. Nice patient at bat here for Washington. Here's the wind and the pitch, and did not think that was a strike. That looked low for a ball. I mean, look low for ball 4 on top of that. 3-2. Here comes the payoff pitch. It is hit foul. Third base side will do it again. The righty is ready. Fires. Fouled again. Payoff pitch number 3. Long at bat to start this game. That is driven foul. Foul ball. We had a long one last night, nearly 4 hours. We had a couple of really long extra inning games. And even the game that was finished in our 3-inning regulation was a long top of the third where they scored like 6 runs. So, and he'll work a walk. So nice job by Reyes there to pick up a walk and get the leadoff batter aboard. Try to really hold the Diamondbacks back. I mean, the best thing, what you're looking for is to play spoiler. We saw this with the Miami Marlins last year, defeating the New York Mets to keep them out of the playoffs. In real life, it does get a little weird sometimes when you bring in, hey, here's a real life example versus our fake MLB 11 world. Oh, 0-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. Ooh, big old looping curve. Gets the inside part of the zone, and that is a strike. 0-2. Okay, they'll check on Reyes. He is safe, as usual. Only 2 times now in total have they thrown over and actually gotten it out. And one of the 2 times, they had to throw over 4 consecutive times. Here comes the 0-2. Wind and the pitch, rolled foul. Rolled foul third base side. And, he's going to take one. Coughlin takes one on the outside edge. That is strike 3, and it's a good pitch. 85 miles an hour on the 4-seam fastball, and set down on strikes. Got a little too patient there. Ryan Howard steps in. 10 home runs and 29 RBIs, so we'll go with that 311 average. You're going to put the runner in motion. The pitch is outside for a ball, safe at second. So you take advantage of the walk by advancing him into scoring position. And we have an injury. Oh no, Reyes is down with an injury after the stolen base. So they will have to go with Ronnie Cedeno. Pinch runner. Wow. With the 1 out in the first. Hopefully he's all right. Just misses the game, that's what we want. That's in for a strike. Howard looks at the umpire, does not love the call. But it will be a 1-1 count. Howard pushes that back up the middle. Runner will advance to third. There is out number 2. And it'll be up to Russell Branyan to try and do a little 2-out damage. He's batting .277 on the season. That is low for a strike. The second one of those we've seen already. We're in the top of the first inning. Game. Righty winds and fires inside for a ball. 1-1. Runner at third, 2 gone. The wind and the pitch is low for a ball. Try to get cute with that curveball. We've seen it a couple of times now. He was able to get one on the inside edge, but that one not tempting enough to swing at and not good enough or well enough thrown to get the strike call. Wind and the pitch, and it is sliced foul. The ball is foul. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is low for a ball. Full count. And that'll be hit to the third baseman. Fires to first in time. So the Nationals able to work a walk. Unfortunately, they lose him on a stolen base to injury. Advances to third on out number 2, and we'll see what happens here because he'll stay in the game at shortstop, I believe. I forget exactly. David DeJesus is going to lead things off for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He is in right field, followed by Freddie Sanchez at second, Joey Votto at first, Jason Bay in left, Chipper Jones at third, Hector Luna is the DH, Curtis Granderson in center, Matt Wieters is the catcher, and Cesar Istruas is the shortstop. Tricky Diamondbacks lineup, 3 righties, 3 lefties, 3 switch hitters. Proves to be a problem for whatever hand, it doesn't matter. Whatever hand your pitcher is, they will create a nightmare scenario for you. Randy Wolf is 5-9 with a 6.28 ERA. 15 games, he's thrown 43 innings, 58 hits, and I did not catch those last couple of numbers. Oops. 58 hits, 23 walks, 22 strikeouts. Ronnie Cedeno will remain at shortstop. That's what I thought. Feels good to be right. So here we go for the Diamondbacks. The lefty readies and fires in for a strike. Oh and 1. The wind of the pitch from Wolf is fouled away. 0 and 2. Quickly 0 and 2. And that's inside. Ball 1. A little too cute with that 2-strike pitch. I mean, trying to just clip that inside edge, but unsuccessful. And that'll be lifted into shallow right center field. Second baseman trails out there and picks up the out. Freddie Sanchez, 4 home runs, 20 RBIs with a 400 average. Nobody on, 1 gone. That's inside for a ball. Lefty winds and fires. That one's in the dirt. All the way back to the backstop. 2-0. And a much better start against the lefty. The righty's putting up a little more of a challenge. However, swings at the first pitch is kind of in that zone, and it's rolled over for an out. Joey Votto, 350 average, 8 home runs, 26 RBI, and a stolen base. I guess it is an interesting lineup in the fact that they do have a couple of true lefty hitters up at the top of that top 3 of that order. And the switch hitters shoved down a little bit. I think it's 3 of the bottom 4 hitters, I want to say. Maybe 3 of the bottom 5. Votto fouls that one off, excuse me, and we are looking at a 1-1. The wind and the pitch is swung on and missed 1-2. And a scoreless bottom of the first. Diamondbacks win and they clinch the NL West. Washington just looking to play spoiler. They're out of it. That is rolled foul. Third base side. And that's going to be lifted. Catcher waits for it. That'll take care of it. First inning, not a whole lot going on. Just the one walk, the stolen base, and the injury. Which was kind of weird. Granted, for Washington, but Pagan, Young, and that other guy. They'll come up. Angel Pagan. Going to face the righty here for the Diamondbacks. Hernandez walked the leadoff batter in the first inning. Gets a strike call on that one on the outside. It's a good long at-bat by Jose Reyes, who unfortunately got injured trying to steal a base, or successfully stealing a base. And he's gone with that curveball a couple of times. You wonder if Washington starts to key in on that a little bit. He's been a little cutesy with it. He had one that was really nicely located, but a couple others that have not looked great, whether they are clearly going to be a ball or left in a hittable spot like that one was. See if the Nationals can figure something out. If he makes a mistake, can they punish him for it? That pitch misses outside for a ball, 1-0. Swung on and missed at the pitch on the outside. 1-1. Wind and the pitch. Ooh, nice location on that outside edge. 1-2. That's outside. 2-2. Really working that outside. Could make the inside half. Could be vulnerable to that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is lifted out towards right field. Just got a little under it. It's going to stay in foul territory, but plenty of room to work for the right fielder to make out number 2. Chase Headley's batting under 200 at 195. Not great looking stats for him. See if he can get anything going against this righty pitcher. That is foul. That ball's foul. And that's foul as well. 0-2. That is outside for a ball. 1-2. And low. 2-2. 2 outs. Top of the second. No score. Only 1 base runner so far. Nationals were able to get him around a third, but could not bring him in. Kill it, babe. Come on, Blue. The wind and the pitch is going to be lifted out to center field and the left center field gap. But it's an easy out. Bay, Jones, and Luna coming up for the Diamondbacks. Looking to put a hit on the board. We're going to do something, anything. Video game, please. This part of the lineup could start getting difficult. That's fouled away. I think there might be one true lefty left in the lineup, just because Arizona does have things split evenly. 3 righties, 3 switch hitters, 3 left-handed hitters. Can they do some damage against Randy Wolf in a chunk of the lineup that would have the advantage against him? One and one. Lefty sets and fires. That is fouled away. Foul ball. Foul ball. And swung on and missed on the inside. Set down on strikes for out number 1. Chipper Jones. Switch hitting Chipper Jones, which I did not know going into the season. Or did not realize. Takes a strike on that high inside corner. Can he do against the lefty? Wolf misses low for a ball. Good take. Especially in that part of the zone that's been a strike, kind of wide for a while now. It's a 1-1 count. Here's the lefty to the plate, low for a ball. 2-1. The wind and the pitch. We're on that outside edge. 2-2. Oh, and they plunk him. Okay, that's a little surprising. We've watched, how many games at this point? 4 days, or 4 games a day for an average of 4 games a day for whatever, 92 days or whatever it is. And it is so genuinely surprising when they get hit, because it's so inconsistent when it qualifies it as a hit by pitch and doesn't. We'll take a strike right at the knees, 0-1. Here comes the 0-1. It is sliced. Foul. Foul ball. Gotta wait for it to hit in foul territory before it is officially a foul ball in this game. 0-2. The lefty winds and fires. That's lifted. Second baseman comes in. What just happened? What in the world just happened? That was way up there. That was way up there. And it just dropped. The second baseman didn't do anything. I'm out of words. How does that even happen? The ball is skied. What's the out? No. Okay, we can't go that far. And the second baseman just wanders in? He just watched it drop. I thought it was so weird. I thought there were 2 outs. And it just hit. The runner advanced all the way to third. Runners on the corners, 1 away. Granderson, that's going to get away. The Diamondbacks are going to score a run on a wild pitch. What an unbelievable sequence of events. Oh my goodness. By my estimation, by the end of today, we'll have seen roughly 375 games this season. That sounds right. The Arizona Diamondbacks take a lead on a passed ball. Look, I have long said that the Kansas City Royals are the holders of the most fraudulent win of the season. It might now switch to the Diamondbacks. What happened? That's outside for a ball. I thought it was 2 outs. So they were like, well, we'll just run, and that way in case something happens. Because if he catches that, doesn't he get doubled up? Fouled the first base line. That broke the frames. Unreal. And Granderson will work a walk. Okay. Well, hey, y'all got to see it live. Let me make a note of that. I believe that was around the 25-minute mark. That is lifted out towards right field, excuse me. 25. We're on July 2. I don't know why my U is not working. What? All caps. Question mark, exclamation point. Mysterious. Cesar is up. Here's the wind and the pitch. At 4 games a day times 95 episodes, it would be 380 games, but I'm accounting for the days where we only played 3 games plus the All-Star game. There was also a day we just did 1. There were 2 days where we did 1 and 2 days where we did 3. So I think yeah, but it's fine. I appreciate you doing the math. And if you count all the games that went double, okay, Wolf is having maybe the most bizarre inning we've ever seen. The lefty is ready and winds. He'll fire that, and it's hit foul. Rough estimate? Yeah, it's perfectly fine. In the fact that we've watched 375 games-ish. We've seen that in 2 pickoffs work 4 outs. Is like a mind-boggling number. Two and 2. This will be lifted into left field. Maybe he'll just let it drop as well. And there is the out. So, Arizona, and not only would this be like one of the more fraudulent wins we've seen, it's at like a key point in the season where if the Diamondbacks win this game, they vault themselves into the playoffs. That's just unreal. Well, we'll see if Washington has anything to say about that offensively. They just have, the one run on the 1 hit. No errors charged to either side. It was a hit by pitch, too. Oh, my goodness. Nothing about that run makes sense. It was a hit by pitch to put him on, a not even hit that dropped. Unreal. That is low for a strike again. Third time we've seen that today. Could the game make it seem like the ball part of the open roof? I guess, yeah. It's just the CPU. You figure there'd be more drop balls, particularly by away teams. In some places, like Chicago's a good example, that have like wind whipping around. The CPU knows where to go in those situations. But that could be it. Here's the line and the pitch. Right back up the middle, but the shortstop makes a nice play. Throws over to first, over the head of the first baseman. Catcher does a nice job backing it up, and it does not go into the dugout. It was a nice play right up until he threw it, and then it was over everybody's head. But like I said, hey, catcher does a nice job. He's over there. Ramon Hernandez, batting 156. The righty winds and fires. That is going to be hit into center field. Okay, maybe the game's not done yet. Nobody gone here for the Nationals. Slides safely into third. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is in for a strike. Readies and fires. Oh, that gets the inside corner. Oh, cheeky little strike. 0-2. Here's the line. The pitch. Foul, third base side. So some funky defense here in the first game of the day. As that is outside for a ball. The righty winds and fires inside. And that's going to be lifted. That's into the right field gap. That's going to get down. Runner's going to hit second. Ooh, he's going to hit third. He's got to come home. It's going to be a 2 RBI double for the Washington Nationals. Looking to play spoiler. Safe at the plate. It's 2-1. They are immediately getting into the bullpen. They're going to bring in Jared Burton. 15 games with a 1-2 record. 4 saves. 6.57 ERA. 12.1 innings pitched. 6 walks. 7 strikeouts. Chris Coughlin, 0 for 1. Wow. That is low for a ball. That's actually a surprising call. It's the correct call, but with how many low strikes have been called today, that is surprising. That ball is rolled foul. Okay, so who had the hit? Okay, so we can take a look at the stats. But could you imagine? Because the second baseman. Well, here let's create the story. Let's look at the hold on. Game summary. Batting order. No. Oops. Box score. So the second baseman, oh, he didn't have that. Darn. He did score a run, though. Nice. So he would have scored the tying run. The second baseman who let the ball drop, they got to let the lead runner get all the way to third. Here comes the 1-2. Way upstairs, 2-2 from the righty. Nationals looking for a little insurance with a runner in scoring position. Nobody out. They can trade 2 outs for 1 run with a couple of sac flies. That's upstairs for a ball. Good eye. Three and 2, full count. Makes that last pitch, or that last take, even bolder. And okay, that was anticlimactic. But he does have more walks than strikeouts. He had 7 to 6, I think. And that would now make it 8-6. I mean, this is Diamondbacks. This is the Diamondbacks we have seen all season long. We watched them for like 3 of the 4 games or something like that where they were playing the Rockies, and basically they just had to win the series to tie the division, and they could not do it. It makes sense that this team would falter in the biggest moment, which would be if you win, you clinch the West. That's all you have to do. You have to win 1 game. So maybe we'll be back tomorrow and the day after. As the righty steps and fires, that's a low for a ball. That's outside for a ball. 3-0. Hands off the controller. Let him. If he's going to walk you, let him walk you. Don't give him the easy out. I think that's a good take. I mean, even if it's in kind of a hittable location, which it did kind of look like it was in a hittable location. The righty is ready. He'll step and fire that to the diving second baseman. He goes to second for 1. They try to get 2 at first. I kind of like the play, actually. It's a force out at second. Leaves runners on the corners. Double play still in order. Russell Brannion's 0 for 1. And that is going to be crushed out to right field. He dove. It bounced horribly for him. I don't know that they're going to send the runner in from third. Oh, they're going to. I'm an idiot. Here's the throw to the plate. It's way up the line. Safe. Another couple runs score. Hey, you got to go for it. It bounced away from you, sure, but... Oh my goodness. This Diamondbacks National Series just got so interesting. 4 runs in the top of the third, just 1 gone. And that's low for a ball. More insurance in scoring position. That is in for a strike. Right on that inside edge. And swung on and missed. Righty is ready. Winds, fires. That hits a pitch there, a batter. Okay. You could have just walked him on the base, but instead you hit him. This reliever has not done what the Diamondbacks need him to do. He's okay. I thought he might get injured. They would need a pinch runner. Force at any base. One gone. Here's the step from the righty. That's in for a strike. Oh and 1. Wind at the pitch. Swung on and missed. 0 and 2. And will be rolled over to second for 1, over to first. In time for 2. 4 runs on 3 hits. Arizona commits an error. To Jesus Sanchez Votto. Those are your next guys up. We're going to keep things going for the Diamondbacks. 4-1. They need 3 runs here. And the only reason they scored one of their runs was via the worst played ball we've seen all season from a defense and a wild pitch. That's fouled away by DeJesus, 0 and 1. Okay, to cut that out, I was clapping along to that, but okay. That is swung on and missed. Oh and 2. And that's low for a ball. 1 and 2. That's fouled away.
That ball's foul.
That ball is fired. That's upstairs for a ball. Here comes the 2-2. And that is lifted out towards right field. Right fielder is chasing it down. Does it have enough? It is on the warning track to make the catch in that funky little corner out there. It's a nice play out there by Pagan. Bring up Freddie Sanchez, 0 for 1. Batting .397 after his last plate appearance. 4 home runs, 20 RBI. And he'll launch that into center field. He bobbles it out there in center. Still just a single. I'll let you in. A little secret. I got a little thrown off by the umpire. I was like, oh, look, a Washington National. That's an umpire. That's a... What can Joey Votto do? 4-1 Nationals. 1 on, 1 out. The wind, the pitch, and it is outside for a ball. Now, I don't know what the tiebreakers are, so consider the fact that if Arizona loses 3 straight games, and say the Rockies and or Padres they win their next 3 games, we create a 3-way tie atop the NL West. I don't know who has what tiebreakers. I would guess head-to-head would be the number 1 breaker, but who knows? Two and 1. Wind in the pitch from the lefty is lifted into right center field. This is going to roll all the way to the wall. It's going to hit off the 376 foot, the wall 376 feet away. It's an RBI double. Of course, if the Diamondbacks can mount A wild comeback here. They can erase everything that I've just said. Diamondbacks are win and in. That's it. Jason Bay, 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Does a nice job. I think Votto did a nice job to get that into the gap, to get that to the wall, so it's a double rather than a single. Takes the double play out of contention. That's on the outside. One and 0. Pitcher winds and fires. Tying run at the plate. Pulls it foul. And lifts that one into left. They will hold the runner at third. So the double play in order can end the game. Go ahead, or the winning run now steps to the plate. I am a little surprised Washington has not gone to the bullpen. It'll be Chipper Jones, who was hit by a pitch and scored a run. He has 6 home runs. Is this time for number 7? The wind and the pitch is outside for a ball. One and 0. Runners on the corners. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's outside for a ball. We have seen multi-run leads just dropping like flies lately. The lefty winds and fires. Jones drives this towards right field. This might be too shallow to send that run home. And it is. Oh, interesting. Jones got too far under that one and skied it out to right field. I think he's going to want that swing back. I think he's really going to want that swing back, considering the fact that it looked pretty hittable. I think it would go head-to-head, then maybe record versus common opponents. Okay. Oh, and 1. Diamondbacks down to their last out. Swung on and missed. 0-2, now down to their final strike. Here's the wind of the pitch from the lefty. It is swung on and missed. The Diamondbacks can't close the deal. Oh my goodness, they give up 4 in the top of the third. They're able to get 1 back in the bottom half of the third. The funkiest run we've seen all season scored in the bottom of the second. And they will have to try again tomorrow against this Nationals team to get into the playoffs. Ronnie Cedeno, 1 for 1 with a double and 2 RBI. So he came in after... This was a weird game from the jump. Jose Reyes is the leadoff batter for the Washington Nationals. He gets injured after stealing a base. Cedeno comes in, and now he's your player of the game. Randy Wolf improves to 6-9. Livian. Hernandez drops to 8-6 after the loss. Unreal game. Ronnie Cedeno 1 for 1 with a couple RBI. He had a double. He came around to score. Votto 1 for 2 with a double. He knocked in a run. Washington Nationals get out hit, but they get the runs across, and that's what matters. Let's get set for game number 2 here. No scores to catch up on because we are just going to the literal next game. The Pirates and the Rockies. Okay. Rockies, you're 3 games back, 2.5 games back now. Can you beat the Pirates and put more pressure on the Diamondbacks? If the Rockies and the Padres lose, then the Diamondbacks will walk into an NL West championship accidentally. Swap the thumbnail. Thanks everybody for hanging out. If you're enjoying the content, be sure to give the video a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like more. Ring the bell, all that stuff. Free, easy ways to help the channel. Welcome to Colorado, home of the Rockies. Pittsburgh, they've clinched the NL Central. 44-35 is their record. Colorado led the NL West for most of the season, but they've been stumbling down the stretch. 42-37 is their record. They need to win and have the Diamondbacks lose to have a shot at the title. Julio Lugo is at first base. He is a right-handed hitter for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Nick Markakis out in right. Robinson Cano at second. Jose Bautista's at third. Nick Johnson's the DH. Alfonso Soriano in left. Miguel Olivo is the catcher. Crispy Young, Crispy Quick is the center fielder. Ryan Theriot is the shortstop. Chad Godden, 8-5 with a 8.15 ERA, 15 games, 35.1 innings pitched, 52 hits, 16 walks, 35 strikeouts on the season. So kind of a don't know if I want that on the mound in a critical situation, but you never know. Julio Lugo, zeros everywhere you look, except for his number, it's 2. Seems like they've gotten away from the normal leadoff hitter. You thought about bunting. I feel like Markakis is usually the guy to lead things off for the Pirates. I mean, especially with a right-handed hitter, get a lefty up there. Who knows? That's in for a strike at the letters. 1-1. Here's the wind and the pitch. That's inside for a ball. Two and one to the righty hitter. Nice patient at bat. 3-1. It's more impressive when you look at a dude who has a 0 average and you're like, okay, hey, pretty good. 3-1. That's inside, and he will work a walk. Even more impressive in a 3-1 count, the fact that he's able to work that walk. Batters love a 3-1 swing. Nick Markakis coming up next. That'll be lifted into right field. He takes a dive. Oh, no. That is bad news for the Rockies. The question is, are they going to send him around third? They will. They'll send him around second as well. It's an RBI triple. Oh, baby, a triple. Wow. Torrey Hunter out there in right field for Colorado. Now, the Rockies not only chasing down, or not just chasing down the NL West crown, they are looking for a wild card berth as well. The Mets are on like a 14-game win streak. They currently have the 1 spot ahead of the Marlins, who are just a game back. And I believe I wrote this down in my notes. They are 2 back in the wild card race. Yes, they are. As are the Padres. So the Mets, if they can keep this win streak alive, can really, they can wrap that up. They might need all 3 wins, though. They might need to push to a 17-game win streak. But it'll depend on what the Marlins do. And the Marlins are a game that we're actually going to watch. They've really been struggling between the Rockies and the Marlins. We're going to see our second wild pitch score a run today. This is exactly why. I looked at that ERA and it was like, uh-oh. Oh, no. Marlins play the Cardinals in Miami. And this will be lifted out to right field. No dive attempt needed. I'm not playing either, so I can't make him do it. So Jose Bautista, 360 average, 8 home runs, 35 RBI. He comes up with 1 out, 2 runs already in. Good start to the afternoon for the Pittsburgh Pirates, who we've seen be very explosive offensively. You go back, they currently have the tie for the most runs scored this season, 14 against the Minnesota Twins. Granted, in Minnesota does help things a little bit, because they got 3 turns at bat rather than if they had knocked out a team by 10-2. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's outside for a ball. Pittsburgh lost a real bizarre game the other day. Let me see if I can pull up my notepad and remember what it was. Was it that? Yeah, it was that Marlins Pirates game. That was a good one. Way outside. Three and two. And that's inside for a ball. Oh boy. So we are having a rough start for these teams in the NL West that need to win. I guess the Diamondbacks don't need to win. I guess, yeah, no, because if everybody loses, they'd be up by 3 games, and there's not 3 games left. Never mind. Let's double check. I keep thinking about it, and I'm like, well, they still have a chance. Like, well, no, you have to take advantage of the losses. Come on, John. That is low for a ball. And inside. And that's in for a strike. 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. It is driven. Foul ball. Boy, that was in the air for a while, but still just ended up being 2. Oh, that's foul. It's only like 2 rows deep. And the 1-2 misses. 2-2. Oh, and they're going to call that a strike. Don't know if I agree with that, but that's what they're going to call it. Alfonso Soriano batting .320. And Soriano back to the backstop and rattles up the third baseline. 2 outs here for Pittsburgh in the top of the first. They've already scored 2 runs. They're working with the runner on first. The wind of the pitch is lifted out towards right field. Runner, for some reason, didn't really advance. Guess it didn't matter. 2 runs on just 1 hit. Victorino will lead things off for Colorado. A team that I have not introduced yet. That was such a long top of the first inning. I forgot that we haven't seen their lineup yet. But we do know it is Shane Victorino leading off for the Colorado Rockies. He is a switch-hitting center fielder, followed by Juan Rivera in left, Torrey Hunter in right, Mark Reynolds at third. Rocco Baldelli is the DH, Jake Fox at first, Bill Hall at second, Stephen Drew is the shortstop, and John Jaso is behind the dish. The Philadelphia Phillies will be the number 1 team in the National League. They are knocking on the door of 50 wins in just an 82-game season. Dallas Braden is 8-7 with a 5.23 ERA, 15 games, 41.1 innings pitched, 51 hits, 9 walks, 20 strikeouts. We'll see what this Colorado offense can do after giving up 2 runs in the top of the first. They're going to make a change. Drew Butera. Huh. I feel like they did that in the game against the Marlins, because they were at home, so they led. They played defense first, right? And I remember because I got the thumbnail and it did that, and then it did it again here. Like the managers filled out the lineup card wrong. I'm like, shoot, guess we gotta put him in the defensive, so as a defensive sub. It's very weird. Victorino grounds out to the shortstop. The throw is on time and accurate for the out. Juan Rivera batting .255, 2 home runs, 17 RBI. And that'll stay outside for a ball. 1-0. Coming up next, we have the Cardinals and the Marlins. That's in for a strike on the outside corner. The wind of the pitch, he is in for a strike. 1-2. That is foul. And inside. Two and two. And that's lifted. Going left field. It's going to be foul. Or in foul territory, excuse me. And he'll make the catch right alongside the wall. 2 gone. Here's a wind in the pitch. Hunter made kind of a bad dive attempt. Third baseman bobbles it, but still in time for out number 3. Oof. Kind of hoping that maybe Torrey Hunter would be able to redeem himself a little bit after the bad dive out in right field. Wind and the pitch. He gets the strike on the outside edge. Don't know if I agree with that, but it is what it is. 0-1 to Olivo, the Mariner. Go Mariners. They got beat again today in spring training. We gave up some large scores defensively, which, like, I get it's spring training, but also, like, yeesh. You don't need to give up like 7 runs. And that is rolled right back to the pitcher. That's the rare time they don't give him the animation. The throw by the shortstop still in time for the out. Crispy young, crispy quick. Wind in the pitch, and Young grounds out, or grounds over to second base. The throw to first is in time. And that is pretty quickly 2 gone. That's not the kind of inning you want, especially after scoring a couple of hits, but we have seen some very odd runs scored already in today's action. Ryan Terrio steps up. 2 outs, nobody on. Pittsburgh leads 2-0 here in the top of the second. Rockies need a victory to take advantage of the Diamondbacks' loss in the last game that we watched. I think the Pirates are going to be locked into the 2 spot. Their record might not be exactly what I think it is. That's high and inside for a ball. And then the Philadelphia Phillies will play whoever wins the wild card. Right now it would be the Mets. If the standings were to hold, it'd be the Pirates and the Diamondbacks. I'm just not 100% sure who would have the home field in that. And last time I opened a photo, when I was trying to give an explanation, it broke the computer, so let's not do that again. It broke the microphone. The audio just didn't work. Chad Godden's issued 3 walks already in just 1.2 innings. He's only given up a hit, but he's given up 2 and 2 earned. That is in for a strike at the knees. 0-1. Runner on with 2 gone. That is smacked, but it's a foul ball. It's a foul ball. 0-2. That'll be lifted into center field. No real diving effort there. Runner overruns second, but gets back in time as they throw into third. Godden just cannot figure it out. Nick Markakis 1 for 1 with a triple. He punches it back over towards Torrey Hunter. We'll see if he makes another dive at it. The wind and the pitch with 2 outs. Fouled away. Little insurance for the Pirates at second. Markakis looks at the 0-1 and hits it right to the second baseman. Scoops it cleanly, fires to first in time. The Pirates threaten but do not score. The Rockies remain down 2 as we head to the home half of the second. Reynolds, Baldelli, Fox. Coming up, Oriole, MLB, Oriole. Or I guess current Twin manager. Mark Reynolds, batting .324. He has 9 home runs, a stolen base in there. On and missed. Here comes the 0-1. In for a strike. 0-2. You need to be just a touch more aggressive at the plate if you're going to try and make a comeback in this one. The lefty steps to the plate and fires. There he swings at it, but not even close to contact there. Rocco Baldelli batting .462. He has a home run, 3 RBI. I mean, hey, use that average to your benefit. It looks good. See if you can get on base. Not asking for a home run with that. With that average and that home run total, just get something. A hit for the team, that's not going to do it. A swing and a miss. Bill Hack had a pitch low out of the zone. 0-2. Nope, excuse me, 1-1. I apologize. That one is outside for a ball. 2-1. We know the count now. We're locked in. Pitcher winds and fires. Baldelli with a swing and a miss. 2-2. That is rolled over to third base. Third baseman fires across the diamond in time. That is out number 2. This Rockies offense just does not have anything going for it. And it's been a while that this Colorado Rockies team has been slipping like this. 385 average for Jake Fox. Again, not looking for the big swing, but just to maybe get something rolling here. The lefty is ready. Fires that in for a strike. 0-1. That's in for a strike. Low inside corner. And 2. And misses outside. Good take. 1-2. Lefty winds and fires. Misses inside. 2-2. Getting a little cute with him. Just, just go at him. Here's the 2-2 pitch. It is low for a ball, which is a little annoying on 2 different fronts. 1, the pitcher, again, trying to get too cute, trying to play on the edges. 2, a little surprising that it's actually a ball. We have seen that zone be extra low today. Does eventually get the swing and the pop. And there is the out. Colorado held to zeros across the board. Cano, Batista, Johnson looking for maybe a little insurance here for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the top of the third. 391, 5 home runs, 28 RBI for Robinson Cano. That is outside for a ball. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is upstairs. Two and up. That's upstairs. And low. Okay. All right. Well, there was a very boring at-bat. Nice patient at-bat by Robinson Cano. Couldn't find the zone there. Just a 4-pitch walk. And I mean, even that pitch was a little on the... Yeah, I mean, we have seen worse pitches called strikes than that ball for. When you would even look at it and go, like, that's not a strike. You know what I mean? It's very weird. 0-1 to Batista. And Batista slices that one away, but it is foul. So a runner on first after the walk. It's an 0-2 count after the foul ball. Here's the wind to pitch, and this is driven out to center field. Cano will hold at second, which I think is a little unsurprising. Nick Johnson is 0 for 1 with a strikeout, 2 on. Nobody out here for Pittsburgh. They can do their part to eliminate the Colorado Rockies from a playoff position. Wind and the pitch is in for a strike. Let's see, if the Rockies lose, they would need the Mets to lose, and then they would have to... Basically, the Colorado Rockies, kind of either way you slice it, they have to win out, and the teams in front of them have to lose out. They're in such a bad spot, and it's really surprising. They were so good for so much of this season, but the wheels have just completely come off this team. Maybe it's more of a schedule thing. They get kind of some of those tougher matchups where if you flip the schedule but kind of keep the results the same, you look at it and you're like, man, Colorado not looking super great. So it would be more of a hopium sort of thing. Like, hey, maybe they could do it, instead of the way we're looking at it is like, boy, they have just fallen apart. That's out into foul territory. First base side. Of course, you could say the same thing about the Mets if they started with going 14-3 or whatever. They would have been competing with the Philadelphia Phillies, who have been consistently good all season. Swung on and missed, but that's not the situation we're dealing with now. Alfonso Soriano is next. He'll step up to the plate with 1 out, 2 runners on. Looking for a little insurance. And he will take a ball a little low. 1-0. And inside. 2-0. Wind and the pitch. He is in for a strike. 2-1. And that's a bit of a surprising strike. 2-2. And outside for a ball. 3-2, full count, payoff pitch on the way. And Soriano was going to drive this out to left field. Does he have the catch? He does. Runner will tag at second. It is Cano. He'll slide into third safely. Runners on the corners. They will go to the righty from the bullpen. It's George Sherrill. 24 games, a 4-5 record. 3 saves, a 3.28 ERA. 24.2 innings pitched, 10 walks, 26 strikeouts on his record. Lefty is ready, winds, fires, and in for a strike to Miguel Olivo. And that is sliced. Foul ball. Oh and 2. 2 on, 2 out. 2-0 game. Top of the third. The lefty misses way outside for a ball. 1 and 2. Swung on and missed. So Sherrill comes in and Sherrill, however you pronounce. He comes in, does his job, gets out of the jam. It'll stay 2-0. Colorado's going to send up Hall, Drew, and Jaso. Looking to keep this game going for the Rockies and help their playoff hopes. Bill Hall's batting .333, 5 home runs, 23 RBI. That's low for a ball. Here comes the 1-0 from the lefty. And he's going to get lifted into left field. Okay, so the Rockies off to a good start. It's a single. Nice throw in from left field. Stephen Drew, the tying run. He's tied. He's second in the NL with 12 triples. What can he do here? Lefty winds and fires. It's foul. First base side. That gets that low part of the zone, though it catches a lot of the plate. Kind of a pitch so bad it was good. Strike 2 called. That'll be rolled. Second baseman's going to come up with it. He'll throw to first in time. That's the out. That's 1 out. Still a runner on for John Jaso, batting .378. But they do come up with the sure out. I think you can appreciate that. Oh boy. Foul ball, but dang. 0-1. 1 out and a runner on second. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is way outside for a ball. Here's the wind of the pitch from the lefty. It is hit right to first base. 2 gone. Shane Victorino. Lineup is going to flip over here. Victorino can keep this game going with a hit. He can tie it if he can get it out of the ballpark. The wind and the pitch is lifted. Right field. It is drifting out there. The right fielder waits for it. Moves a couple of steps and makes the grab. That will do it. Colorado Their playoff hopes are dimmer than they were when they entered this game. And they are eliminated from contention in the National League West, which is, again, wild. I don't think we're going to see Colorado in the playoffs. Dallas Braden is the player of the game. 3 innings, 1 hit, 1 strikeout. He improves to 9-7. Chad Cotton falls to 8-6. No saves, no home runs. 2 runs on 3 hits for the Pirates. The Rockies pick up just the 1 hit. It was the leadoff hit in the 3rd inning. And then just nothing. No scores to catch up on as we're going to slide down the order a little bit. We are going Cardinals Marlins. Nothing else really interesting happening there. In that, the only game that's kind of interesting in this little stretch is that White Sox Red Sox game. We'll jump into Cardinals Marlins, or the Carlins Mardinals, which I keep wanting to call it. Let's flip the thumbnail over here. Edit. Guess I should probably change the description a little bit, because Mascot Madness is done. That is saved. And we'll welcome you into Florida, Miami, where the Marlins looking to win. 43-36. The Mets have 44 wins. The St. Louis Cardinals are 37-42. They are out of contention. They can play spoiler. We've seen one team spoil so far. The Mets cannot cement their playoff spot today. They would need losses and a win, and I think losses and a win tomorrow would do it. Alex Rios is the center fielder. He will lead off for this largely right-handed St. Louis lineup. Ronnie Paulino is the catcher. Hanley Ramirez at short. Aaron Hill at second. Mark DeRosa is in left. Tyler Colvin in right. And Troy Glaus is at first. Alex Gordon at third. John McDonald, had a farm, is the designated hitter. E-I-E-I-O. Derek Holland is the lefty, 7-6 with a 4.40 ERA. 15 games, 43 innings pitched, 47 hits, 20 walks, 31 strikeouts on the year. Alex Rios, 333 average, 4 home runs, 20 RBI, 5 stolen bases. We are ready to get things going. Get things underway for Game 3 of our coverage today. Thought I had a sneeze there. Still feels like I have a sneeze. But I guess not. Okay. Swung on and missed on the inside. Pitch misses for a ball. Snagged out in right field for an out. Ronnie Paulino. 324 average. A couple of home runs and some RBI. It's on the outside for A strike. 0-1. The lefty steps and fires, and the righty grounds it to third base. There is out number 2. Marlins need a win here. A Mets loss today. That would create a tie for the wild card. The wild card spot, because there's only one of them in 2011. And then just kind of like who can end up in first. That's upstairs. A win by the Mets today would eliminate the Rockies. So that loss could have been way more detrimental than I really had put together. And a swing and a miss. One outside for a ball. And that'll be rolled foul. 2-2. Lifted out towards right. And that'll do it for the top half of the first. Nothing happening. Take a look at this Florida lineup here in just a moment. Is everybody for hanging out? Lance Nelson will lead off. He is in center field. I think he's been a more consistent center field or leadoff guy for Florida. They've had kind of a weird lineup throughout the season. Todd Helton's the DH. Alex Rodriguez at third. Pat Burrell in left. Garrett Jones is in right. Paul Konerko at first. Orlando Cabrera, the shortstop. Jesus Flores behind the dish. Danny Espinosa at second, yes. And that is your Florida Marlins lineup. It is one of the more baffling lineups, more predictable lineups that we have. Those first two guys will likely be 2 outs. It'll bring up Alex Rodriguez, who has an incredible average, and he will be able to do nothing. Sergio Romo is making his season debut. There are no stats for him. No wins, losses, ERA, no games, innings, hits, walks, or strikeouts. That's interesting. Lance Nelson leads off. He's batting 160. A brand new, fresh arm out of the bullpen, making his season debut, might be enough to give the Marlins some trouble here. Sergio Romo gets things started with a strike. The righty readies, winds, fires. That's inside for a ball. 1-1. Righty outside. 2-1. So it got off to a good start and then kind of quickly fell apart. Here comes the 2-1 pitch from the righty. It is rolled into right field, shallow right field. He's going to be able to get to first safely in time. Well, it's a nice play by the second baseman. It was going to be a single kind of either way you sliced it. Todd Helton. So right in my face. I said the first two guys would be out by the time Alex Rodriguez showed up. Todd Helton can still hit into a double play. We'll take a strike on the outside. But A-Rod has that incredible average. It's been consistent all season long. And it feels so rarely has people on base to drive in. The wind and the pitch from Helton, or to Helton, excuse me, is swung on and missed. It's a 1-1, or an 0-2 count, excuse me. I placed the 1 in the wrong spot in my head. Helton swings and misses. Maybe the best thing he could do, but he's not going to get a hit. Don't hit into a double play. Alex Rodriguez, as you can see there, 349 average, 10 home runs, 29 RBI. And with a runner on first against a pitcher making his season debut, what can he do? Wind the pitch, and that's outside. Ball 1. Ooh, jammed him a little bit. Got A-Rod to swing. Fouls it away. And that'll be lifted out to right field. Oh my goodness. Alex Rodriguez is the problem. He's out number 2. Pat Burrell batting .288. 6 home runs, 26 RBI. And, oh boy, that's a generous call on the inside. That's a strike. 0-1. Here comes the 0-1. And that is foul. The 0-2. Oh, man. Okay, well, they're able to get 1 hit and then just 3 straight outs after that. Okay, Hill, DeRosa, and Colvin coming up for St. Louis, top half of the second. What does Aaron Hill have on offer? He will put that to the shortstop who scoops it, but enough speed to be safe at first. Way to run that out. Canerco greets him at the bag. Mark DeRosa. And that is low for a ball. Here comes the 1-0. That's lifted and foul. Foul ball. Ooh, strike on the outside edge. 1-2. Runner on first for St. Louis. Wind and the pitch. Fouled away. They'll stay alive with a 1-2 count as the ball kind of bounds back into the frame there. That is way outside. Two and two. And that is going to get kind of blooped into right field. He's going to hit second base hard and head for third. The throw is not great. Took him a second to get rid of it, and it wasn't A super strong throw, Tyler Colvin. He's batting 300. A lot of different ways to get that runner in from third to try and take a lead here in Florida. Play spoiler. That is in for a strike. Here's the wind and the pitch from the lefty. Gets the strike on that outside corner. 0-2. That's lifted into foul territory. Third base side. Does a good job to stay alive. Lefty winds and fires. Ooh, what in the world? Did that not go through his knees? Okay, do we have a weird one here? We're going to turn the camera around. We'll lower it. Oops. Actually, we can't really do that. Okay, it didn't. It was just our angle. Just our angle. That's on me. 1-2. Nobody out. Runners on the corners. Here's the wind. Here's the pitch to the lefty. Stays outside for a ball. Good eye. 2-2. And it'll be rolled to the third baseman. He will go to second for 1. Over to first. Not in time for 2. It's a smart play. There was no chance for a play at home. Get the lead runner, or the secondary runner, whatever it is, from first and second. Take him out of scoring position. If you get 2, great. If not, double play still in order. 1-0 St. Louis. It'll be an RBI. Swung on and missed. Wind and the pitch is high and inside for a ball. Get to. The wind and the pitch is in for a strike. Right at the knees. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. It is. Who thought about it? No appeal down to first. Might have been a good opportunity for it.
Come on, set him down.
And thought about it. They'll appeal down. Did not go. They kind of have him, though. He is tempted to swing. They just need to find something that he'll go around on. Full count. Here's the payoff pitch. Runner on first. Swung on and missed. So down on strikes. Just kind of takes a couple extra pitches to get him to go. Alex Gordon, 304. 4 home runs, 10 RBI, 5 stolen bases. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is. No appeal again. St. Louis wants to swing. I'm just not getting anything to really go for it. That is outside for a ball. That's in for a strike.
Come on, bring this guy up.
2-1. And that's a 2-2 count now after the strike is in what looked like a pretty good location to take a swing at it. Of course, as soon as I say these St. Louis Cardinals, they're ready to swing, they're able to hold the bat on their shoulder. And that is upstairs for a ball. Weird to see the number 5 on a dude not named Pujols for St. Louis. Full count. Runner on first with 2 outs. He'll be off on the pitch. And it'll be a strikeout. But St. Louis comes away with 1. It is 1-0. Jones, Canerco, Cabrera coming up home half of the second. Garrett Jones batting .337, 5 home runs, 27 RBI, and 3 stolen bases. That is low for a ball. And that's foul. Third base side. And he is going to smash that, but it drifts foul. Had the distance, but couldn't keep it fair. 1-2. That is unfortunate. Marlins would have tied it on that swing. Does take a ball low, so that's a positive. Two and two. The wind, the pitch. It is outside. Full count. Oh my goodness. Payoff pitch from Romo to the leadoff hitter. He'll roll over it. Shortstop comes up with it. The throw is way out of the way. That is going to get the runner to second, sliding safe. Tried to make a play but couldn't come up with it. It'll be an error for the Cardinals, and the tying run is in scoring position. Paul Canerco, .313. 9 home runs, 23 RBI. It'll be interesting to see if they can... I mean, if he can get one out of the ballpark, that would swing the lead in their favor at a crucial time, but he'll take a strike on the outside, 0-1. Runner on second. That one's upstairs. 1-1. And that'll be rolled foul. First base side. That's upstairs. 2-2. The wind and the pitch is outside for a ball. So 3-2, another full count for Romo to work with in this inning. And he'll get that between the infield. Because of the dive, the runner has to hold. He's not able to round third. You'll see the third baseman dive for it. And that holds the runner at second. Okay. Tying run at third. Go ahead run at first and a strike. Yikes. And that'll be lifted. Ooh, that's big. That's a big out for St. Louis. Puts the double play in order to get out of the inning. Jesus Flores is batting .316. Well, that runner at first, it starts to get a little dicey if they can get this run in. The wind and the pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0. Weird runs have been scored throughout today's action. Here's the wind and the pitch from Romo. It's outside, 2-0. The righty's ready. He winds and fires. That's in for a strike. A little passive on the swing there. Thought he'd be slightly more aggressive. 2-1. He sets, winds, fires. That is going to be lifted into left field. That is going to score the run. As he'll make the grab, the runner tags from third and heads home. So it's a nice job by Konerko. He was able to get that game-tying run in. 1-1. A Marlins win. And a Mets loss. Ties them for the lone wild card spot. That'll be rolled over. Pitcher will scoop it up. He'll fire to first in time for out number 3. Bit of an anticlimactic end to that. 2 hits for each team, 1 run for each team, but St. Louis committed the error that came around to score. It's 1-1 heading to the top of the third. McDonald, Rios, and man whose last name starts with a P that I'm blanking on. The wind and the pitch is a strike on the inside. The lefty steps forward. It misses everything. And that will be a ball. 1-1 the count. Thought about the bunt, but pulls back. Two and 1. Here's the wind of the pitch from the lefty. It's rolled foul. Third base side. And that'll be hit back up the middle, but the second baseman covers it cleanly over to first in time. For some reason, the angle of that made it feel like it was maybe going to sneak past the first baseman. Or sail past, I guess, would be the better way to phrase it. Lefty is set and ready. And the pitch is outside for a ball, 1-0 to the number 2 hitter of the inning. Here's the wind and the pitch. Ooh, that is not a strike, huh? Okay. I don't know about that, but all right. 2-0. The lefty's ready, winds, fires, stays upstairs. 3-0. Got to be hands off controller here. We can't be swinging at a 3-0 if you're St. Louis. 3-0. And that's what he does. He takes the whole way, 3-1. One out here in the top of the third. And that is lifted out towards right, but the right fielder makes the running grab. 2 gone. Couldn't get it to slice away from him. Because if that gets down, it's more than likely a double, but nice play out there by the right fielder. Ronnie Paulino. Here's the wind and the pitch. Low for a ball. The lefty steps to it, fires, and that's rolled over. Third base side. Strong throw across the diamond. That'll take care of the top of the third. Marlins looking to walk it off in the home half. It's a 1-1 game. It'll be Nelson, Helton, Rodriguez coming up for the Marlins. Nelson had the first hit of the game. 1 for 1 with a single. The wind and the pitch to Nelson. Romo gets in for a strike. A pitch so bad it's good as it clips that bottom part of the zone. Swing and a miss. Real aggressive on pitch number 2. And just like that, it's 0-2 to the leadoff hitter. And swung on and missed, so a strikeout. Here's the pitch from the righty, winds, fires, low. Ball 1. Can Helton get on? Can Rodriguez drive him in? Romo stands, fires, misses outside. Two and oh. The pitcher winds and fires. Helton drives this out to right field. And the right fielder makes the grab, though it looked like kind of a casual jaunt at the start. Found the gear he needed to make the catch, and it'll come down to A-Rod. Can he keep this game alive, or are we going to extras? What is that swing as I smash my finger into the keyboard? Death, the bottom thing. You're swinging it that? A-Rod, come on. I've been complimenting your average all season. Here's the wind and the pitch from Romo. That is low for a ball. And he'll launch this foul into the corner. Marlins down to their final strike before we head to extras. 1-2 the count. In this 1-1 game, Romo readies, winds, fires, and it is strike 3 called on the inside. Boy, bet you wish you didn't take that stupid hack at the first pitch. Ramirez, Hill, and DeRosa as we are going top of the 4th. They're going to go to the bullpen. The Marlins will bring in the lefty. It'll be Pedro Feliciano. 18 games, a 3-1 record, 3 saves, 3.18 ERA, 17 innings, 3 walks, 18 strikeouts. on the year. Hanley Ramirez, 0 for 1 today. Had a pretty nice 315 this season. And Ramirez gets that past a diving shortstop. He's going to hold for a single as that gets out into center field. Wind and the pitch. Foul. Third base side. And that is lifted foul. Foul ball. Sorry, called that early. My bad. Winds and fires. Foul ball again. 0-2. Runner on first. Do they send him at all? Do you try to force some action on the base paths? Oof, God. Strike 3. Tees with a leadoff hit, and in and out it'll be just 3 outs in a row. That's a really nice pitch. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was a really bad swing. That's why I audibly groaned. Ugh. Mark DeRosa 1 for 1 with a single. Batting .250. 2 home runs, 7 RBI. That is inside for a ball. That is low. It's called a strike. I don't like it. The hitter doesn't like it. No one's happy right now. We're at the top of the 4th inning. 1-1 game. Okay, and that one's surprisingly a ball. That part of the zone is wide usually, but I guess we'll give him credit for making sure to call that a ball. 2-1. Yes, it would have just flipped the count to 1-2, so it's not the worst thing in the world just because it's not a strikeout. And foul. Went out and got that one, drove it foul. 2-2. Yes, 2-2. 1 out, a runner on first. A 1-1 game in the top of the 4th. Lefty stands and fires. Swung on and missed. Okay, Cardinals, do you want to put anybody in motion? Do you want to do anything? I'm sorry, I'm getting word that they just want to strike out. Perfect. Pretty good pitch decision there. Changeup at 75 miles an hour gets the very early swing timing. They'll bring up Tyler Colvin, 0 for 1, though he does have an RBI. And he will face the lefty with a runner on first. And he'll take that pitch for a strike. He's safe at first. Just like they always are. Oh. Watched too many of these games. We have gone to extras lately. One's way outside. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That is foul. Boy, got him with that pitch, huh? Whew. Okay, St. Louis. 3 straight strikeouts following a leadoff hit. Take a look at that on the replay, and that would look like it was outside. Pat Burrell's 0 for 1. And we'll continue to be here, folks, for the 1-1 game. The wind and the pitch. I'll take that inside for a ball. 1-0. I mean, I know that St. Louis getting anything across, but at least it's some action and something happening. The pitching isn't good enough in this game in a consistent manner to go like, wow, what a pitcher's duel. It's just like they accidentally, you see where the catcher sets up, and you see where they end up catching the ball, and you're like, oh, this is just bad. Gotcha. 1-1 after the foul ball. And Pat Burrell's going to get under that one, drive it sky high. Catcher makes the grab. And one agone, or one away. One agone. One go away. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is. Hits the first base. Can't do anything with it. Wow. Okay. Florida. Anybody. Anything. Anybody want to do anything? Shakes off the catcher. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is upstairs for a ball. Here comes a 1-0. Konerko blasts this out to left field. It is no doubt gone. Konerko saves us from this game and might save the Marlins season. Oh my goodness. He put that one in the seats. I didn't even realize he was just standing at the plate. I had hope. I had dreams. Sergio Romo is going to get tagged with the loss in his season debut. I mean, he doesn't really have a whole lot to be mad about. He gave up 2 runs. Konerko 2 for 2 with a home run. He is your player of the game. Pedro Feliciano improves to 4-1. Romo falls to 0-1, like I mentioned. Konerko's 10th of the season. Mercifully, the game only gives us 4 innings to watch. The St. Louis error came around to bite them. 3 hits for each team. But the third one was the decider for Florida. Pardon me. So, with all of that being said, we have some scores to catch up on. The Red Sox beat the White Sox 1-0. Orioles over the Guardians 4-0. Tigers over the Rangers 3-0. They have I don't think they have a shot because I think the Athletics have more than 42 wins, but hey, they're at least showing some fight at the end of the season. Marlins improved to 44-36. There's the big one, Mets Giants. A loss for the Mets would tie them with the Marlins, and it would keep the Rockies alive. We're not going to watch that game. We're going to slide down. Dodgers, Padres. Diamondbacks lost. Padres, outside shot to try and get toward the, get to the AL or NL West crown. So we'll see what they can do. Athletics have 42 wins. Okay. I can't remember, were they part of what I was looking at there? Oh yeah, they were the game right before. So they did get the win. Hold on. 3-1, it looks like they won that game. So the Tigers close to being eliminated. Oh, you know what I did do is I wrote down a bunch of teams that would be eliminated if the Athletics won. Dodgers are 36-43. They are eliminated from playoff contention. Padres still hanging around. They can get a win here, put themselves in a position to try and make a run at that NL West crown. They also do need to pick up a victory because of the Marlins' victory today. Padres, the lineup looks like this. It's Juan Pierre, the DH, followed by Carlos Beltran, the center fielder, Ryan Braun in left, Adam Dunn at first, Michael Stanton in right, Ryan Domit is the catcher, Wilson Betemit at third, Jason Donald, is second baseman. Cliff Bennington is at shortstop as we are here for our fourth and final game of the evening. Thanks everybody for hanging out. I appreciate it. Spending part of your Sunday over here on the channel. Armando Galarraga is 9-4 with a 3.21 ERA, 15 games, 42 innings, 42 hits, 14 walks, 22 strikeouts on the season for Galarraga. If you're happy and you know it, clap your hands. Let's stomp your feet. What did I write down here on my notepad? So in the American League in the hunt were the Athletics, the White Sox, the Angels, and the Tigers. And then there were 4 teams, including the Blue Jays, the Guardians, the Orioles, and the Red Sox, that if the Athletics won, it eliminated them because there just weren't enough games left. So the Blue Jays, Guardians, Orioles, and Red Sox, you're done on the season. In the hunt is just 4 teams, Athletics, White Sox, Angels, Tigers. And that's the American League. We watched the Marlins win, so they would keep pace with the Mets. If the Mets win, it would keep them a game behind. The Rockies lost, and they are out of it in the NL West. The Marlins win and the Marlins win and the Mets lose. The Rockies would still be 2 games behind. Steps on the bag. And then the Padres can pick up a game here on those Diamondbacks who faltered in their game earlier today. Trying to make sure I have all of that making sense. Or is correct, I guess. So Carlos Beltran. That's outside for a ball. Oh, I forgot I was going to run polls during the stream, but that's all right. Here's the wind and the pitch that is hit so hard it breaks the frames up the first base side. Dodgers looking to play spoiler as that's outside for a ball. Dodgers and Giants, unfortunately, never really in it. Surprisingly, the Padres are in it. And kind of the Diamondbacks as well. Colorado got up to such a big lead and then just absolutely fell apart down the stretch. That's lifted out to left field. That'll get down and hit off the fence for a double. And that is a 1-out double. Runner now in scoring position. Ryan Braun batting .278. Here's the wind and the pitch. Inside for a ball. 1-0. What game are you watching? Here's the wind and the pitch. It is going to be rolled to the second baseman. He'll fire to first in time. Runner advances to third. We did see kind of a root out the other day where the first baseman just threw it to third to get the lead runner. We'll bring up Adam Dunn. He's working with a couple outs, so he doesn't have a ton of ways to get him in. However, if he could find some outfield grass. And he can't do that on pitch number 1. Drives it foul 0-1. Can drive in an early run for the Dodgers here. That's inside for a ball. We'll get caught up on the rest of the scores after this game, and then we'll take a quick look at the playoff standings. We might have a day where there's like just wheel spin games to watch. As Dunn is going to get that past the diving second baseman. The Dodgers are on the board first, 1-0. If the Padres lose this game, the Diamondbacks will back into an NL West championship. And if the Mets won, which I did not catch when I was looking at those scores speeding by, if the Mets win, it will eliminate the Rockies and could eliminate the Padres if they lose, or would eliminate the Padres if the Padres lose today. Here's the wind and the pitch. It's inside for a ball. 1-0. I don't think things are set entirely in the AL. It's down to a few teams. If that Athletics game was a little earlier in the day, I might have thrown it in, but it was kind of late. But we could have flipped, because if the Diamondbacks won, as this is absolutely crushed out to left field, that is a 2-run bomb. 3-0 Dodgers looking to play spoiler to the division rival, San Diego Padres. Because like if the Diamondbacks had won and then won the NL West, then it's like, well, we can still watch the Marlins game, but we don't necessarily need to watch the Rockies game. Maybe we watch that Mets game. You know, it was loosey-gooseier than I probably realized. I had a bunch of games written down. I had like 8 that were kind of like, if this, then that, then this. That one's upstairs for a ball. That's in for a strike. 1-1. 3-0 Dodgers here. A little 2-out damage there. Actually, 3 runs of 2-out damage. And that's rolled to the second baseman, over to first in time for the out. Get you introduced to the San Diego lineup here in just a moment. 3-0 Dodgers. Andrew McCutchen is the center fielder. He will lead things off, followed by Alcides Escobar, the DH. David Wright's at third. Justin Upton in right. Jared Saltalamacchia, the catcher. James Maloney at first. Bobby Abreu in left. J.J. Hardy at the shortstop position. Eric Young Jr. is at second base. Wade LeBlanc is 9-4 with a 3.67 ERA. 15 games, 41.2 innings pitched, 44 hits, 11 walks, 28 strikeouts on the year. Andrew McCutchen, 266 with 2 home runs, 16 RBI, 3 stolen bases. And that'll be lifted. 1 pitch, 1 swing. Is it an out? In foul territory on the warning track. And it is 1 pitch, 1 swing, 1 out. Well, a good start for the for the Dodgers pitcher. The lefty winds and fires. That is one pitch, one swing, one out. Oh no. San Diego, it's like they know their season's done, so they're just trying to go home. Trying to pile in that time off, put in a PTO request. That is a one pitch, one swing, just a strike. Kind of a bit of a break for San Diego, who is one of the quicker 2 outs you'll see all season long. 0-1. That is low for a ball. And just like that, he has seen as many pitches as the other player, or the other two ahead of him combined. 2. 1-1. Nods his head in approval. LeBlanc winds and fires, and that is lifted out to right. A 5-pitch inning for the Dodgers. Bennett, Donald, and Pennington coming up, the 7, 8, 9 hitters. We are just like that into the top of the second. Wow. .412 average, 4 home runs, 16 RBI, no stolen bases. There's a wind and the pitch on the outside. Righty winds. That is hit toward the shortstop. Scoops it cleanly, fires in time over to first. Wind and the pitch. Inside for a ball. Righty winds and fires. Outside for a ball. Galarraga really needs to throw a 0 on the board here. Trying to see him get a little more aggressive at the strike zone. That's a nice pitch. I don't know whether that was necessarily aggressive or just kind of one of his cutesy pitches that worked in his favor. It's 2-1 now with 1 gone. Wind and the pitch. That is hit out towards center field. It's going to get down for a hit. And that'll be a single. Okay. Maybe don't jinx the pitcher, please. I was just trying to, just trying to give a little suggestion. The righty is ready. Here's the wind and the pitch hit. A ball? Really? And that'll be lifted out towards center field. And that'll be a nice easy grab. The throw is in as the runner retreats to first. 2 outs. Here at the top of the second. McCutchen with a nice grab. MLB 13, the show cover star. Juan Pierre's 0 for 1. Juan Pierre, he's our guy. He was a legend, as Walkoff reminded us in the 3-inning season that we did in ESPN. Or MLB 2K5 featuring ESPN. It's the weird one as far as those ESPN games by 2K were concerned, because it's like ESPN NFL football, ESPN NFL 2K5, ESPN NBA 2K5, ESPN College Hoops 2K5. That is batted away, or batted foul. But for whatever reason, the The 2K5 for MLB wasn't stylized like that, if I remember correctly. That's inside for a ball. But Juan Pierre was a huge part of our Colorado Rockies team, as we played that with some cheats and had a good time last offseason. In this offseason, we did 3-inning games of broadcast commentary baseball. And MLB 11 The Show, a game that every day feels like it's closer and closer to shattering me in half. There is out number 3. That's what he needed to do. He gave up a hit, but kept that hit away from the home plate. Upton, Saltalamacchia, and Loney coming up. Second on the Diamondbacks for Justin Upton with 3 stolen bases on the Padres. Super helpful stat. The Padres have to have slower at-bats here. Okay, not what I said. 2 1-pitch, 1 swing, 1 outs. 1 3-pitch at-bat. That's 5 total pitches in the first inning for LeBlanc. Shakes his head. Readies, winds, and fires. That is going to be hit to the shortstop. He bobbles it, and it's going to be safe. The Padres are doing everything they can to bail Los Angeles out. That's 2 pitches in that at bat. Just hit right to the shortstop. Couldn't handle it. They'll bring up Jared Saltalamacchia, batting .295. 10 home runs, 27 RBI. So an error for this Dodgers defense. Here's the wind and the pitch, and it is low for a ball. 1-0. That might be the first Padre who was not taking a hack at the first pitch.
Come on, let's get it going.
And that's going to get lifted into left field. The left fielder casually walks over and makes the catch. It is Ryan Braun out there in left. I can never, ever tell how the last name is said. Safe at first. Don't know why you're checking. One on, one out. Lefty to the lefty. And again, he at least thought about it. It wasn't a full-on swing, sure, but he gave it a passing glance. Wind and the pitch is at the letters for a strike. 1-1. And that is lifted. It's going to get past that diving shortstop. He's hitting second, heading for third. The center fielder up with the ball. And he's safe at third base. Okay, Bobby Abreu was batting .260. One out, runners on the corners. Here's the wind and the pitch to Abreu. That... Really? He did not call that a strike. Okay, then. 1-0. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is outside for a ball. Here's the wind. Fires inside for a strike. Runners on the corners. 2-1. 3-1. Okay. Okay. All of a sudden, he can't find the zone. See what happens when you settle the hell down, San Diego? This pitch is number 5 of the at-bat. That is going to get out towards the right center gap. The right fielder makes the reaching grab. The Padres will score 1. Runner on first. So the tying run coming to the plate yet again. Skied that one deep, but not deep enough. (3-1) now, Dodgers over the Padres. J.J. Hardy represents your tying run, 385 average, 3 home runs, 14 RBI. And a patient at bat pays off. That is a strike in the low part of the zone. Maybe a beneficial call or two to that last batter, but either way, did a good job to take him. Oh and 1. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is drilled foul. Foul ball. Grab ball. 0 and 2. And a strike on the outside corner. Ooh, that's a brutal call to end the bottom of the second. 3-1 Dodgers. They're coming up. Beltran, Braun, and Dunn. Maybe looking for a little insurance. The error ends up biting the Dodgers in the backside as the Padres are able to put up 1. Carlos Beltran's 1 for 1 with a double. – 3-1 Los Angeles. The righty Galarraga shakes it off and fires a pitch that's hit foul. Foul ball. 0-1. The righty winds and fires low for a ball. One and 1. Here's the wind and the pitch. It is hit 2. The second baseman fires a nice scoop at first for out number 1. Ryan Braun's 0 for 1 today. And Braun drives that foul. Braun drives that foul as your host has a problem with his eye. 0-1. Still having problems with his eyes. His stupid, dumb, idiot eyes. Don't even work no good no more. 1-1. Galarraga steps to the plate. Outside. 2-1. And Braun drives that out towards center field, but McCutchen is there. Makes the adjustment and makes the catch. 2 away. Padres got 3 in the first, the Dodgers have got 3 in the first, but haven't been able to add anything on. Padres is trying to keep this game close so they can maybe walk off the win. Los Angeles looking to play spoiler. Padres need a win here, or they'll be trying to fight for a wild card spot. As that's into right field. But if the Mets won today, and the Padres lose, and the Padres are done. It'll be between the Mets and the Marlins for the NL wildcard spot, and we'll take a look at the AL when we're all said and done here. Michael Stanton's 1 for 1 with a 2-run home run. His swing is the difference in the game right now, and he's working with a runner on first. The wind and the pitch. Stanton drives this towards center field. McCutchen makes a nice running grab. And no damage is done. 5 hits for the Dodgers, 3 runs and an error. 1 hit, 1 run for San Diego. Young Jr., McCutchen, and Escobar coming up for the Padres, home half of the third. 2 to tie, 3 to win. And Eric Young Jr. will lead things off. The wind and the pitch is low and outside for a ball. No appeal down to first to see if he went. I don't think he did, but with this game, you never know. I think it leans towards did not go, but it's not like the times where they call the check swing. It's like, yeah, you went, are wildly convincing. Foul ball up the first base line. That's upstairs, high and inside. The wind and the pitch, and that is lifted into left field, so the tying run will come to the plate. And that's what Colorado needed. They needed a guy that maybe didn't have a home run swing in him necessarily, but he did have a good average. They needed him to come to the plate and just get on base. Andrew McCutchen doesn't really have the home run total that I thought he might, and his average is a little lower than I anticipated as well. He's next up. The game-winning run is on deck. The wind and the pitch. That is fair, third base side. Runner's going to hit second and head for third as the trail runner is into second. Alcides Escobar. I had a sneaking suspicion we were going to see this here in the late stages of this game. When the lineup comes through the second time, it definitely seems they have the advantage. The lefty winds and fires. This is lifted out towards right field. And the catch is made. The runners will advance. Tag and advance, I should say. So a productive out. David Wright is 0 for 1. Wind and the pitch is low for a ball. One gone. And that's... oh boy, I don't know about that. That's inside for a ball. Okay. Two and one. Three and one as that is low. Tying run on third, winning run at the plate. Wright takes a big swing at that. Makes the count 3 and 2. And it's going to be a tie game. I knew it. I knew we were going to have some BS. Sometimes you just, I mean, for the love of all. This game it just doesn't have any logic switch. When you switch it to 3 innings, it doesn't go like, okay, the 3rd inning is the 9th inning. Justin Upton's 0 for 1 with a run. Because what I'm going to guess it's going to happen is this is going to turn into a double play. And we're going to just go to extra innings. The Dodgers haven't scored since the first. The Padres have done a good job to stick around. But then it becomes this weird standoff where nobody can do anything. The wind and the pitch. It's not a double play, but it is skied. And that pitch was inside, which makes it a little annoying that he swung at it so aggressive. Jared Saltalamacchia. Like, I feel like we got really lucky that we only went through 4 innings with the Marlins game, excuse me. So here's the wind and the pitch. That's up. Why is that a strike? What is your zone? Your zone doesn't make any sense. It hasn't made any sense all day. 0-1. A runner on, 2 outs. Saltalamacchia, nice take on the outside. Surprised that wasn't a strike. Lefty is ready. Winds and fires. That's way outside. Padres not being aggressive on the base paths. And a nice job by the catcher for the Dodgers to make sure that that wasn't a passed ball that advanced the winning run into second. They'll check on the runner at first. He's safe. As they almost always are. And Saltalamacchia is going to punch that into the gap. That's going to be gone. Saltalamacchia wins it for the Padres. San Diego still has hope. They scored 4? In the home half. They're going to walk off the Dodgers. Wow. Well, in my face, because I assumed that it was going to be a double play and we'd be in MLB 11 hell for the next hour and a half. Jared Saltalamacchia, hey, he's your player of the game. They win 5-3. 1 for 2 with that 2-run home run. Armando Galarraga improves to 10-4. Wade LeBlanc falls to 9-5. Stanton's 10th. Saltalamacchia's 11th. You really go back to that first inning for San Diego. As soon as they decided to not swing at literally every pitch, they played a lot better. So a couple of 2-run home runs. San Diego's 2-run home run, the decider. So that does it for game number 4, our 4th and final game of the day that we are watching. We will simulate through the rest of the day, which for some reason didn't kick us to the next day yesterday, but I don't know what's going on. Sim to date. The Red Sox are interested in a trade. No. Okay. That's probably why. Also, it's bizarre that we're getting trade offers 2 days from the end of the season. All right. Let's go and view today's games. Where did we leave? We left off here. Mets won. Rockies eliminated. Mets are 45-35. They win 3-1 over the Giants. The Reds beat the Phillies 4-0. Though the Phillies are locked into their position. Yankees all over the Royals, 9-3. Both teams now 45-35. Astros over the Cubs, 4-1. They're eliminated. Yeah, because they can only get to 43 wins. Let's see. Brewers over the Braves. Angels over the Rays. So the Angels still kind of have a chance there. Athletics over the Twins. Padres over the Dodgers. Okay, 3-1 Athletics over the Twins. Padres over the Dodgers 5-3. Mariners beat the Blue Jays 3-2. Mariners shockingly 47 wins, which is surprising. I believe they're the number 1 team in the American League. Let's sim to date and advance. Okay, that'll work. All right, let's go around the league. Let's see what we need to keep an eye on. The Athletics lead the Angels by 1 game. Tigers and White Sox are back 2. Red Sox eliminated. Athletics, they are on a 9-game win streak. They're only a game back of Oakland. East is taken care of. The Diamondbacks do not win the division. Okay, I think I might have misspoke when I said that. If the Padres lost, the Diamondbacks would have won the division, but they still have a chance. We'll see how that goes. Mets are up by 1 game on the Marlins. They've won 15 games in a row, the Mets have. Marlins back by 1, Padres back by 2. Rockies eliminated. So it's Mets, Marlins, Padres, Angels, Athletics, Angels, White Sox, Tigers for the wild card. And that is it. Otherwise, everything's taken care of. Whew. I'd like to thank Jared Saltalamacchia for knocking out that 2-run home run so that it just made sure that we were set and done. We didn't need to be stuck in baseball hell and MLB 11 hell. It always happens when I actually have something that I need to do. I need to go prepare to go to work tomorrow. And the game goes, you have 4 hours. I don't. I really don't. What I do have to do is thank you all for watching. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow with a selection of games. I'll figure it out. Maybe it'll be a little bit more of a mix. We were all AL yesterday. We were all National League today. So maybe we'll try to find a little bit of a mix. Thanks for watching. I think we might watch that Diamondbacks again because boy, do they not know how to close the deal. Thanks everybody for watching. We're streaming live on Twitch and on YouTube. We'll be live tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time on both platforms with more MLB The Show. Thanks for watching. Like the video, subscribe, follow, whatever is platform applicable, and we will see you tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody. Good sports, go baseball. See you tomorrow.